Something has shifted in your field today. Mercury entering into the sign of Aquarius is not a transit that's loud, but it's liberating. This is designed to actually liberate you from the mind, where it may feel like you're losing your mind, but you're also finding yourself in the middle of that process. And I mean, some of you, it feels like an ongoing process, but this is where you're liberated from the mind's gravity. And when we talk about gravity and you being the universe experiencing itself as human in this construct, I'm hearing the word reverberate, so things are reverberating from you. I'm gonna go ahead and get that download, but let's get up the exact definition. Reverberate, and I'm seeing an energetic projection, so things are actually coming into your experience where the thing is, mental collective fields actually begin to loosen their grips, and the same belief systems that were previously governing the way that you move through this system, okay, because we have certain gravitational laws that actually govern the the way that a universe moves, the way that that construct moves. And I'm seeing just something liberating, something also alchemizing, and just becoming more fluid within you. It's like you're returning back to your formless nature while still in the physical, which is to become more detached, be like water. That's the kind of vibe that I'm seeing. It's like you're changing your form, you're changing your mind. That's okay. Change your mind as many times as you need until your experience on this earth feels like home. And don't be afraid to rewrite your story during this transit, because you may just like this one better. That's like a visual that I'm seeing come through. But yeah, this is something collective that's also going on, that's also going to be impacting your subjective journey. And another message I was getting as well is your ideas are no longer orbiting the familiar things that you've done. It's almost as if there's something that's unbeknown to you that you feel very, very drawn towards, and it's because that gut feeling is a memory from your future self. So I'm seeing like parallels of yourself sending messages from the future, because Aquarius is very futuristic, and also your thought patterns are detaching from this emotional inheritance of how you used to navigate this construct, and conversations that you're having are beginning to actually point you forward rather than inward. So I'm seeing this as forward action, because the universe is speaking to you through everything and everyone around you. And I'm just seeing signposts and guides that are coming your way. And yeah, this transit is actually going to subtly rewire things like how meaning is made in your life, or even how truth is being recognized, or how ideas are moving between people. I'm seeing a brainstorming energy open up in your field as well. What else can we talk about with Mercury in Aquarius? Essentially, I'm just seeing space be provided. Like, things are going to feel more spacious and also less reactive for you. This is also where there's room between stimulus and also response. This is where new timelines are becoming thinkable. You're breaking out of some kind of old paradigm or old mold. That's what I'm seeing. It's the universal laws are being rewritten. That's what I'm seeing. It's like the construct is being rewritten. The way that you navigate this construct is going through a fundamental reset. It's like something is resetting in you today. Yeah, let's talk about the energies that also may move through you. So things that you may notice is sudden clarity without any kind of emotional charge, and also a desire to step back rather than fully engage in your experience. I'm just seeing someone kind of, this is interesting. Okay, the visual I'm getting is a parallel, okay? Almost, how do I explain this? All right. Like a parallel stream of consciousness that's also you, like the parallel self, is experiencing itself through you. And imagine if, okay, let's talk about this reversed. If you end up in a parallel timeline and there's someone that but something's different, and you're trying to put your finger on it, or it's like you're at a job and you're used to certain co-workers, but in this parallel stream that co-worker has like blue hair and you're used to seeing them with brown hair. Or I'm just seeing subtle shifts or reality markers change in your life where you're not necessarily engaging, because you're more interested in the art of observation. And I'm hearing observation is going to be an art, because there's so many subtle shifts that are going to be happening in your reality. Also, ideas are arriving fully formed for you during this time without any kind of effort. Mercury in Aquarius as well really detaches from arguments that maybe they once felt compelled to win, you know, especially moving from Capricorn to Aquarius. There's just more of this detached vibe where, again, maybe your dynamic between others is changing, you and that co-worker or you or that sibling or you know whatever it is, and your ideas are arriving fully formed without any effort at all, right? I'm just seeing it as almost like this precognitive ability that you have to foresee future events before they unfold, and this is potential timeline experiences or continuums that you could witness the manifestation of in a linear fashion, but you're arriving there on a quantum level before you arrive on the physical. So I'm just seeing you like scan different timelines, feel into different timelines, like the soul is feeling into different experiences, what would that would potentially be like, and then you make a executive decision around what it is that you actually want to execute, right? That's the energy that I'm getting. So Mercury in Aquarius moves like this cool current through the nervous system, and I'm hearing stay with situations that regulate your nervous system. It doesn't overwhelm, it just untangles you from things that feel like you don't want to become enmeshed with or lose yourself in, and thoughts are less personal and they're just more honest. So core themes of this transit naturally are going to be objectivity rather than this emotional entanglement. Also just curiosity without attachment, right? Just being curious around, you know, if I made this different decision, how would my life look like? And entertaining those timelines and leaning into that truth without it feeling like it has to be performative in any way. It's just something that you want to begin to experience without any kind of ownership. You're stepping into like this authorship, right? That's what I'm seeing. This transit asks you, what if understanding doesn't require agreement? Or what if clarity doesn't need intensity? If this transit were a person, and we're talking about the transit personified, Mercury in Aquarius would appear as someone who listens more than they speak. They ask questions that begin to dissolve any assumptions. They don't interrupt, but they change the room simply by noticing something no one else had named up until that point. They don't argue, they simply just reframe things. They're not trying to be right, they're trying to become accurate. You know, there's that kindness there, but it's not sentimental. It's a respectful kind of autonomy. So, how people usually feel after this transit touches them is you may feel mentally lighter, also less reactive to others' opinions, less interested in repeating conversations that go nowhere, and more aligned with your own inner logic. What you'll experience during Mercury moving through the sign of Aquarius is people will say things like, you know, I don't feel confused anymore. I just see it differently now. And there is this clarity, and it's very subtle, but it doesn't have this emotional residue that it once had. So, how it impacts the human experience is on a human level. This breaks any kind of unconscious mental contracts, it disrupts any inherited belief systems, and begins to open up space for unconventional solutions. It restores sovereignty to your own thoughts. This is when conversations become honest. People also stop projecting meaning and they actually start asking better questions because that individuality is respected rather than just corrected. Mercury in Aquarius reminds humanity that your thoughts are not meant to imprison you, they're meant to evolve with you. Mercury in Aquarius literally reminds humanity that your thoughts are not meant to imprison you, they're meant to evolve with you. Let's just deep that for a moment, right? Because it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your mind. So the deeper teaching is that this transit doesn't demand change. It actually just invites this deep, much needed evolution within, you know, the soul's journey, experiencing itself as human, because it quietly asks us, does this still belong to me? Or did I inherit it from a world that no longer exists or I no longer exist in? And Mercury in Aquarius doesn't shout any answers. Instead, it simply gives you enough space to just hear your own, you know? It's a moment where things get quiet and what you need to hear becomes loud. And it's not the ego kind of loud where it's shouting at you, it just feels clear. It feels clear, right? Without any coldness. And so that's how timelines begin to shift. Let's go ahead and pull some energies from Mercury moving through the sign of Aquarius. And we're going to go ahead and open up with a Cosmos Oracle message. Let's see what it is that you're going to energetically be experiencing through this energy that's not just moving around you, but also moving through you. Time. Well, that's another great example of you not just moving through space and time, but actually space and time moving through you as a timeless being. Now, time talks about the linear unfoldment of something quantumly that already exists, right? Because everything exists in superposition, in quantum superposition. And it essentially talks about things materializing into your reality because there's something that you're intentionally wanting to design as part of your interaction within this system. That's what I'm seeing. Things that you want to engage. I'm also hearing things that you're being called and were always designed for you to initiate at this phase in your life. Okay, I'm hearing into this version of self that you're phasing into and that you're becoming and evolving into. And this is a future version of self that you're anchoring into the now. And that's leading you to make certain decisions that you wouldn't have as a previous one. And what I'm also seeing, again, things materialize. So that thought form becomes highly conducive the more that you entertain that timeline, and then your action is what actually collapses that thought form through space and time, and it materializes into part of your reality. So I'm seeing something from mind to matter. This is from an idea into a part of your reality, and some of you, I'm hearing it's a dream into your everyday experience. Okay, that's also coming forth. But yeah, this talks about the linear unfoldment of time, but also universal timing. So it talks about there's two kinds of timing where the soul was never in a rush, but the ego may be in a rush. So there could be that other octave within you that you're coexisting with, and just begin to observe those thoughts, because again, you're not those thoughts, but you are the awareness behind it. So it's not too late. I'm seeing the Starseed Oracle message that says, it's not too late. Trust the wave that you came in on. Time is not running out. Okay. So time. Let's also see what comes through. Time is an illusion. I don't know if you guys have seen that. That video makes me crack up so much because it's like, it was talking about someone's dreams and your dreams, but there's these extraterrestrial beings and they're all blue and they're like, my dreams. Time is but an illusion, right? Sometimes we must remind ourselves that time moves forward and backwards simultaneously, right? Time is non-existent. It's a human construct that we design to measure the distance between two events. However, time is spherical, it's not linear. So both events actually exist simultaneously. And all that happens is consciousness, if we quote the Emerald Tablets by Thoth, moves into a new event. So you're actually witnessing the unfoldment or the becoming or the journey of what has already come to be and what already exists for you. And if you see it as you walking yourself back through time, or I'm hearing time moving through you, so I'm seeing you dial back into a very specific coordinate that would allow you to experience the journey of those choices. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, right? Let's see. We also have Star. Oh, so something's unfolding. Star talks about someone that's seen as lucky, right? So you should live your life right now like anything is around the corner, especially with gravitational acceleration. I'm hearing target. What is it? What's it when people? Someone let me know in the comments where they're like target. Da da da. It's like when people acquired or something. It's I don't think it's acquired, but it's something like that where, you know, target has been locked in. There's just something around that, like something's been locked in for you. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Oh, there was a word. Wasn't there a word that I was saying earlier and I was like, okay, we'll look into that. It wasn't recalibrated. It wasn't reconfigured. You guys let me know. That's going to be one that you might have to look up. I don't know if I can remember. I think it began with R. Reverberates. Okay, let's see what this says. Reverberates. which is something that bounces off of you, but I'm seeing it's almost like you talk and then it bounces off the walls and it talks back to you. So I'm seeing how this experience is talking to you, like the universe is speaking to you through everything around you. Let's just clarify this. Let's do this in the moment. Reverberates. It's something energetically and also vibrationally from metaphysical standpoints I'm seeing it as. So yeah, the reverberates means to echo, to ripple, or to continue to be felt after the initial moment. So there's some type of action that you're taking now that's actually sending ripples through space and time. This could be things that you're sending out into the field, even if this is your intentions right now. But I'm seeing action that is then going to be intersected with, that is going to essentially, when you intersect with that, it actually propels you forward because you've already been building momentum, right? Your intention is velocity, your intention is kinetic energy. When supported with action, it creates this velocity, this momentum that you've been building. I'm seeing like a wave that you're going to be riding, but it's because of something that you've done in the past that is now coming back around, or something that you're going to do in the now you're currently doing that is going to lead to great rewards for you. So wherever you are in that journey or that timeline, it's going to lead to you actually being really, really lucky, and actually it's something that's going to be very, very inspiring too. So this could be something that you're creating that other people are also going to be intersecting with. But yeah, it often is spreading outward through space, time, or experience. You could be an experience, it could be something that you're creating that's soon to be experienced in different ways. And for example, I'm seeing, even if this is like a painting or something, or some kind of art, it's going to be experienced like for the souls that are listening or are viewing it. I'm just seeing like the sensory experience of some kind. It's going to be felt, it's going to be appreciated. I'm hearing it's going to be received. Okay, I'm hearing you're going to be received as well. Someone needs to hear that. You're going to be received really, really well. So yeah, if this talks about reverberating a room, again, it echoes and it lingers. A figurative or energetic energy is a decision that reverberates through your life. It affects keep unfolding. Whew. Oh, you're gonna see why I'm excited when I read the star for you, okay? So a truth reverberates through the collective and it sends ongoing waves of impact, lasting influence. Oh, I love this one moment that you're having, right? With that sending many ripples and it's leading to a lasting impact of some kind. So yeah, lasting influence. There's something that you're doing that's going to be highly influential. That's what also. Oh, should we talk about it? Should I link these two readings into one? Let me see. Let me read stuff for you and then I'll make up my mind. Because I had another message about this actually, where I got a message around every sun has its own city. So I'll go ahead and read to you guys the downloads afterwards. Star, a celestial body, which is you, right? A celestial light source moving through time. With time, and it's like you're experiencing the journey of this, and I'm hearing you've been in the dark about this as well. Some of you have been in the dark of this because the star can't see its own light, right? So a celestial body which shines with its own light. The word star has been used to refer to someone who is lucky. Isn't it? It is a magical wild card that stands out against everything and everyone. The star brings light and acts as a guide for all those who accompany it. The star shines with a unique pulse and surrounds the vast night with its enveloping light, leadership and brilliance, spirituality and faith. Activate 333 portal and be thankful. So this talks about it's in your DNA, essentially. Like you being some type of guide or leading yourself through this existence is actually encouraging those around you to somehow take more initiative. Okay, I'm hearing will be more proactive in their life. Let me find this download for you. So before I was leaving Egypt, I'm always back and forth. Anyway, so before I was leaving Egypt this time, I saw this lunar restaurant and I also saw the words new chapter. As soon as I said that, there was 2222 on the clock. So again, some type of new beginning. If we add that up, it's 2468, which is something coming back around. Again, I'm seeing it as like a battery pack or something being energetically charged right now, even if that's behind the scenes before the release. Anyway, and I also saw the words, every city has its own sun. So if you think about the sun, right, it's something that propels things in its orbit from the exothermic reaction that it has. It does something that brings it joy. And I was thinking about this before I introduced this message, this other download, this, since we're traveling through these corresponding planes of consciousness, this other information that we retrieve from these fields, and then we pass on to you. So the message I was getting from this is every city has its own sun, and you hitting two birds with one stone, because that was the first thing that I thought when I was like, okay, should we do it? Should we hit two birds with one stone? That's what I feel like is happening in your experience. As you do something that brings you joy, it also brings joy to those around you, because you're transferring light and heat to your surroundings. If you transfer plasma, right, or photons, which the sun emits. So there's just something there that brings the soul joy in the human experience from you. So yeah, when we talk about lunar restaurant, I was seeing this as where you go to feed your moon, and keywords of a lunar restaurant would be things like nourishment when we talk about the moon card, or even your intuition, right? It's about your feminine side, your inner world. And lunar is the moon. It's a restaurant or a place that you choose to go in order to be nourished. And I'm seeing this as something that you return back to, and it nourishes you in your human experience. Because even if you think about 𝓤𝓂𝓭𝓪, if you guys came with us on the Peruvian journeys, 𝓤𝓂𝓭𝓪 descended from the earth, right? That's like the mysterious tale, and she entered into people's life mysteriously, and she exited just as gracefully and and quietly, but she left a lasting impression, right? It talks about she left this impression up upon the earth, upon the bedrock, where it's almost like she kissed her energy or connected it with something, and it left this lasting impression even after she was long gone. And I'm seeing that as like some kind of impact or some kind of inspiration that you've had. I don't know if you, yeah, I'm just seeing that as a kid, like a kid looking up to like an idol, or I don't want to say like idolizing anyone, but more like a role model of some kind. I just feel like there's something that you're modeling. If you think about modeling, it's about showcasing. It's less about the model. The model itself is more of a, I want to say a canvas, and what it is that it's not just selling, but what it is that it's displaying. I feel like there's attributes that you're displaying through this canvas. I'm seeing the model as an avatar, as a vessel of possibility for the message or vibration or energy of whatever you have to say coming through or bleeding through you. So yeah, this is about you essentially being invited to intentionally nourish your emotional body, and not just accidentally. This is something that is incredibly intentional. So there's a call to almost sit with your own intuition as a guest of honor. I feel like you may be a guest of honor, or people could be honored to be a guest in your experience, even if they're, I'm hearing temporarily experiencing your energy. I'm hearing like encountering you or something that you create as well. But yeah, it's not just this background radio signal, it's very, very intentional. So the restaurant in the metaphysical realm usually talks about relational communions, or like your environment in some way, and I'm seeing it with 11th house energy. So you're allowed to choose that menu, that which is the kind of conversations that you want to have, whether that's art or relationships, or maybe cities or timelines that you want to kind of feed your energy into. I'm just seeing that kind of be weaved, like there's something that you're sewing seamlessly into your experience. But yeah, this is your inner moon, where you're not just living off scraps of validation. Instead, you're coming somewhere sacred, and you're creating something for your soul in order for it to be fed properly within this system. And it's because you're not outsourcing that, you're focusing on things that you can do that can allow you to become your own source of joy. You know, that's what I'm seeing. And as you do that, that joy is being felt, and it's reverberating, all right, when we talk about the keyword. So yeah, it's something that could be preparing you for some type of new chapter of influence. You know, that's also what I'm seeing there. I'm also seeing this for you as a new chapter. What used to be your main story is going to become the backstory. Just let that soak in for a minute. What used to be your main story, like things that used to maybe trip over or was the main event or theme of your life, is going to become your backstory, because you're walking over that effortlessly now. That's what I'm seeing first of all, because it's almost as if the universe is framing your current moment like a book, turning in a page. And it's not just like this small adjustment, it's like literally a new chapter that you're turning this page into, where new characters are going to be entering into your story, new opportunities, new resonant experiences, for everything that's led you to this moment. And then the other thing that I was seeing with the billboard that said every city has its own sun. This could be some of you, if we're thinking about like more just material surface level, it could be where you kind of blow up in your hometown. It could be things like that, of course. But the billboard in the metaphysical realm is like this public message where there's something unavoidable and you can't miss it, right? Seeing it in shining lights, every sun has its own city. It's knowing that every place has its own identity, its own vitality or solar frequency. And when we talk about the sun, we're talking about the soul, right? Which was right even at the front of my deck. So yeah, the sun is the soul's journey, essentially. The sun in most decks is his baby, and he's nude and he's riding this horse and he has no care in the world, and it talks about stripping things back to the core essence of who you are. And I'm seeing that happen for you, where every city or land holds a different version of you or a different expression. I'm seeing a different octave of yourself come to the surface because you're a diamond with many facets, right? Faces, not just one. I'm also hearing a multifaceted being. Yeah, multi-dimensional being, and there's just like a new dimension that you're revealing to the world, or a dimension comes out when you do this thing, or you do it a certain way. And I'm seeing that being accelerated in your field, but it's allowing you to shine with some kind of light or shine with some type of confidence. And there's no one true place that you shine, rather you kind of activate different gifts in doing different things, right? Or doing them a certain way. But I'm just seeing like this flow state that you're entering into. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, where are we? Guys, it's because my Mercury is in Leo. So when everything comes through, it comes through so quickly, like fire, you know? Where I just have to get it out. Sometimes it just take a moment to like catch up. Because I don't remember everything I say until I look back. So let's see. Venus in no, Mercury. Okay, we're talking about Mercury and Aquarius. Okay, let's pull another energy for this. Let's get a gateway of the light activation. I'm also really drawn towards my star seed. Yeah, higher heart activation. Vulnerability is a gift. This talks about dropping your shields, divine love. You are being healed, right? Your heart is healed. Now, your biggest message is doing what it is that you love actually opens up Akashic Stargate for you at the base. So Akashic Stargate basically talks about aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. So there's no wrong path. If you knew that every path would be abundant for you, what would you choose, right? What would you choose to play in? What would you choose to experience? This talks about a shield that you've had up, even in previous parallel existences, simultaneously existing, that you've held up to stop the world from seeing the real you. But your vulnerability is a strength, either putting yourself out there a certain way, or something you do, or a certain message that you've been holding back. Or I'm hearing some of you, it's a story, and letting that be known to the world in some way. I'm seeing that being reverberated, but it's also being sent back, like some type of energy that you're sending out is coming back to you. And I'm just seeing this abundant, effortless flow happening with the heart space, which is beautiful. Vulnerability is the only connecting bridge. So maybe it's something that you put out there, ripples through space and time, it intersects in this world-line collision where someone, you know, comes into this same time and space, same space and time, and they come into alignment with someone that is highly influential, right, on their life's journey. And I'm hearing some of you, this is going to be in very unseen ways. I'm hearing ways that are unbeknown to you, but don't underestimate the impact that you can have from something that feels like, oh yeah, that's normal, like it's part of your experience, or it's something that seems very mundane, but it's extremely resonant, okay? It's exactly what a soul needs to hear at that stage of their evolution. Now, I'm very, very drawn towards the starseed messages, so I'm going to go ahead and pull starseed message deck right now. Yeah, deep, again, extremely healing, deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy. You may resonate with this reading that we did Around, I think it was you're coming out of hiding and it's going to lead to a public harvest of some kind. And I spoke about you having a really healing voice. A lot of you in the comment section spoke about, I'm starting a podcast, I've become a hypnotist. There's some kind of words that you have, okay, especially when we talk about Mercury energy. It's the way that you process information that changes or shifts the frameworks and how other people view their reality or their potential in this world or this realm, okay? And yeah, there's just something really, really beautiful here with Arcturus energy. It's healing on a cellular level, right? Physical and emotional healing with Arcturus energy. Yeah. Right, let's also see. Let's get another message for this. Oh, we have a stack. Let's see. Yeah, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So, are you dreaming or are you living in your dream? Those who look outside dream, and those who look inside awaken within the construct. Are you lucid within this dream? Are you aware that you're in a third dimensional dream? This dimension, it has more density, right? So the illusion of physicality can get you. It can get you very quickly. You can fall asleep here very, very easily. But can you wake up? Can you become aware when you fall into hypnosis, when you fall into sleep? You're organizing your life now around why you're here. So, I'm gonna love and leave you right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. Also check out Auto Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade jewelry. We have two discount codes for that in the description box. And I'll speak to you very, very soon. Let me know, how do you feel Mercury in Aquarius is playing out in your life? Are you a natal Mercury in Aquarius? I would love to hear. I'd love to see that. And yeah, until next time. Bye.